stream while you listen to that. It's very ambient, sort of chilled out, like very chilled out, sort of a little bit African influence, a little bit like glitchy. So yeah, that's where we at, yo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hear me? 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't hear myself, but that's also fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Two, three. Maybe I'm going to turn that off, and we've got picture. 1, 2. When you do live streams, so much can go wrong. Like, there we go. So I hear my voice now, which is good. Yeah, cool. Coming through with picture. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't hear myself, but that's also fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you might have sensed, we're just listening to a loop right now. Turn that off, and we've got picture. Okay, cool. We're in. Looks good to me. Sounds good. So yeah, if there are any issues with the stream that you pick up on, please let me know. I'd like to hear if it sounds good or if something's too loud or soft or whatever. That would really help me out. Thanks a lot. Okay. So we got this month's release that I'm working on. This is track 4 of it. I've got some specs to work to, so I'm not just like blind in the dark. I'm going to be listening to artists like Matthew Herbert, or have been listening to like Matthew Herbert or Herbert and Julian Meir and a South African artist called Felix Laband to create this hybrid glitch, chill out and African influenced instrumental electronic music album. So there's some guidelines in place, which is cool. It means that I can't stray too far. That's the idea here, is to kind of lock it in and make the collection of tracks that comes out the pipe sort of sound the same, sound consistent. What I want to experiment with this, I mean, there's always an experiment. What I'd like to do is experiment with different sound sources. Like a lot of the albums that I work on, I just use, for example, contact instruments, which are just like one supplier or one source of, really good sounds, but still just one source. Oh, dude. Someone's going to buy something. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Hey. Cool. Yeah, when you go to buy, you jump. Right on. So, yeah, what I was saying is, sorry about that. What I was saying was that, Christmas Load 1, 2, 3, write a song like I'm Blue Man from Arrested Development. Oh, right, I've seen that, yeah. I'm kind of busy doing this at the moment, but thanks for stopping by. If you want some African-influenced electronic music, I can do that for you. Cool. So we've got these 3 sort of layers. One is all the glitches, which I could just, sort of solo out. Should actually get grouping on these. There's a vocal sample in there, and it's got all these like some of these sounds that I recorded when I was sitting on the floor the other day with my mbira. Actually, this instrument right here. Where is it? I'm going to need it for the recording, so just yank it out now. This is my mbira. And it's got a really lovely, I mean, it's crap, it's out of tune and it's a horrible thing and I paid too much for it, but what it does do nicely is, It's got an innocence to it that I like. It's got a very gentle sound, so I'll probably carry on with that. So it's got that kind of collection of sounds, and the rest of it I'll show you now. And then I've got a bass and a piano, bass and a pad sound that work together like that. So you've got these two kind of avenues. The one is the electronics, and the other one is the bass and pad. The white lines, the vertical lines, are the arrangement of this track so far. So I've got 16 bars of this kind of stuff, and then I'm going to go to a break, which sounds like this, which is just the bass. This blue stuff here is just a little reminder that the track is still going. Sounds a bit like the intro to the podcast Radio Lab. 1, 2, 3, and then we start again. Except I want this to continue, please. So I've made a mistake there, and I'm going to copy paste that. I see where the mistake is. There's a double level there. Yeah. Sure, it's actually 2 double levels. Yeah, it's a lot of levels. A lot of levels, man. That's also a double. I see what's going on. Okay, we've got some Reaper teething issues here, but that's fine. Cool. I've got a nice little shortcut which I use, which is literally just G that. No, I want to G this. When I G it, that means I group it, and then I'm able to stretch the clip out. And this resembles Ableton's workflow, because Ableton, you can extend tracks, like extend loops like that. Right on, cool. So we're up to about here, which is the second half of the break. And then I've got like a little 1 bar, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll come back in there with a nice sort of drop, like a cymbal crash or a gong or something, just to... Alright, so I've got a plan in my mind as to what's going on here. That's the most important thing, actually, is like mapping out the territory in your head beforehand. Okay, and then we've got this duration here, which comes to about 2.5 minutes, and that's my sort of standard length for tracks that I write. So I think that's good. We'll end it around there. Now it's good, because I've got the beginning in my mind and I've got the end in my mind. So the fun part now is working out what sounds good with this stuff. The chord progression is literally just G major to F major and back. And I'm trying not to spend too much time this month thinking of the music in terms of composition and like compositional stuff. It's more supposed to be about production, working to create a production rather than like a piece of music, if that makes sense. Cool. So let's get an acoustic guitar in here. I can insert one from here. Cool. Sweet, picked it up first time. Now what I need is a tuner. It should actually be on there. Yeah, there is one. The Reaper's tuner interface looks really bad. It's like, looks like this. Oh, it does the job. That's the important thing. This album, or this collection of tracks that I'm writing now, is it's all going to be released in about 2 weeks. I put out music like once a month. And the theme for this one so far is kind of African. Well, I don't want to say African because it's not. It's electronic music. So it's electronic music with a bit of a local flavor because I'm from South Africa. Okay, now I'm going to just jam over this. First thing is I don't want all of the vocals coming in at once. So let's just jam over this intro section here. See if we can work out a nice... Somehow finger picking is more appropriate. Oh yeah. So I find it helpful to do that. Let's turn that down. Cool. Gentle, 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 gentle. Okay, I'm just going to take that down. I'm going to need a click to take this down properly. Oops. 4, 1, 2. Two things. One thing I learned from the last recording that I did was you gotta make sure your click track is not coming through and bleeding into the recording, which it was last time. Okay, back to the top. Christmas load, you really want those parody songs? Please insert coin. So I'm going to reverse these samples. Okay, let's give it a record. Cool, and that is all you need, kids, to get the samples right. So here we go. First things first. Catch the transients. I'm going to do this reversing process right over there and make sure that I get those beginning transients. Now I can group that and now render it as a new, reverse it as a new take. So what I'm actually going for here is, there's the F, yeah, and there's the G. So I want this to be like la, and then a sweep up by the guitar reversed sample. So like this. Ah, sorry, got to set the track routing. It's not going anywhere at the moment. There we go. That's it. That's exactly what I'm going for. Cool. We'll get to delays and stuff later. Let's just time this F note. To make it less predictable, I'm going to do it at halfway through that bar. So it's going to be not the same every time. Here we go. Nice big break there. Ah, sorry. I'm in the wrong place. I'll just reset the grid so I know what's going on. And then this F note here, this guy here is the F, and it wants to be there. So it's... That's in the wrong place still. Now let's do it right at the end, shall we? Cool. You can think about that for a while I go and sell a piece of gear. I'll just let it run. So you're gonna be on my YouTube channel.
Sorry.
That's
This
what
is
I'm
so
about.
cool. Oh my word.
Hey, what's happening? This is Dominic. He's come to buy something.
Hello guys. Hello.
Random moment.
This is so cool. Oh my word.
Yeah, this is
You
great.
know what? Speaking of which. Okay, make sure this speak.
There's no one watching. Did you miss me? That was very random. Sorry, I left the click on. Oh, sorry everybody. Okay. Okay, I like the way this is sounding. We've got a little bit of guitar ramp there. It's starting to sound like the type of thing I want it to sound like, so that's good. First things first, group those, loop them. Now we've got another layer to play with. And I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to play with it. Okay, great. Cool. And I don't think we really need to do much more with this, to be honest. I had ideas of putting like a beat in and everything, but I think some of them was just some leave. I can obviously just bring that down a little bit. And then I'll do all the effects and all of that kind of creative, crazy stuff later. So there we go. That is one of the most recent tracks. I'll come back to it at a later stage. Because I create albums like as a whole, so I try to make them thematically consistent. It's preferable like if I don't finish a track before moving on to the next one, because I like to have a bird's eye view. So it's more like about going through creating rough drafts of all 8 or 9 tracks and then coming back and doing another layer of polish on them and a layer of polish until they all kind of sound, because then you can start to converge the actual timbre of the instruments and the samples you use. You can reuse them, so it's a good way to like bulk produce, which is what I do with this royalty-free stuff that I release every month. Cool. I do want to carry on streaming though, so let's just have a little break here and I'll play you what I've got so far on track 1. This type of stuff. Oh, that sounds cool. Huh. So now that was actually an accident. What I just did there was I included this FM8 sound into the mix, which I didn't intend, but it's turning into quite a decent sound. It just needs to come down in volume. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just fork this off as a second track. Yeah, let's fork this one off as a second track. Cool, thinking out loud. The idea here now is to, okay, what have we got here? This is track 1. This is, so I'm going to just recolor this label so that it looks like the active track for this project, and then I'll do the same here. I'll just kind of save it as track 1, and then come back to it. Hey, save as. Save as. There it is. Okay, cool. Track 1. Let's get that up there. Cool. Now track 1 is this guy here, the active track. And then this guy here can be. Cool. Point of that, what I just did was now so that I can, the accident that I just made when I was creating track 4, which is this yellow region, the accident that I made improved track 1. So now the original project doesn't have that change in it, so I have to kind of update it. All right. Track 1 is, the first draft is complete, so let's move on to track 2. That doesn't work. That doesn't work, that doesn't work. That's nice. Nice and light and glitchy. We've got some problem here with a hold. There we go. It's this piano that's holding. So let's... Okay. That's fine. That's also a rough draft. We don't need to work on that too much. What is this now? This is something I came up with a couple days ago. Okay, so this is a sort of a rolling and an African-inspired groove. It's triplets at about 120 BPM. So it's so that's the direction that this track's going. I've got a core rhythm which helps. I've got a little lick here, which sounds like. Okay, so let's see how it sounds. Start with the bass. It's also in G, which I don't like. I'm going to re-record this guitar. I don't like G, not for any reason other than it's just a lot of these tracks are in G already. So let's move it down to an E. Okay, so we're going to go down 4 semitones. Let's make it 4, not 3, and not 43. Okay, it's got to be cheerful, a little bit, don't worry about the crap quality. Yeah, one example, one reason it might sound crap is because Go. It'll be interesting if nothing else. That's weird. Okay, I like that. So we're going from E flat to an A flat. Back up to the E flat. It's 1, 4, 5. Let's try to do something a bit like. Bang. It's a bit hokey, but this is music for people other than myself, so I'm going to go with it. It's got to be a little bit kind of corny, if that makes sense. That's where I shine, in the cornfields. Tap on, and let's get a 1-bar intro here. Go. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Got the wrong note at the end, but otherwise it's good. Din, din, din. It's got to be a C sharp. Everybody, can you please obey the rules and quantize? What I could do, this is what I did for the last album, is I sampled the recorder, I sampled this kalimba, the sambira, and I like made sure every note was in a sample pack, along with weird sounds. And then I had access to it. I could play it on the keyboard. But there are already so many good sort of sample packs out there that I don't think I'm going to spend the time doing that. So that's fine. Let's keep going. Now we're looking for... I'm going to load up Newscool again. Newscool is one of the instruments that I'm using in this month's release, and it looks like this. How it looks is kind of important because the way that this instrument plays is by code. Basically, these different blocks represent various kind of coding or configurations. Is there any way to explain this without sounding really random? Okay. So that's what it sounds like, and it's not matching the bass at all. So let's... Cool. The bass is, by the way, it's over here. It's behind my face. The bass behind my face. Okay. Now this is, yeah, like as I mentioned, Newscool is to be used sparingly because it makes some really kind of aggressive sounds. So what I'm going to do for now is just mute the bass and try and find... First I'm going to try and get it into triplets because I want this to run in triplet mode to match the beat. And that is not what I want. So I'm just going to scan through a couple of these. Nope. Still 4. No. That sounds horrible. Let's try and strip down. Let's find something that sounds vaguely in the region that we want it to, and then we'll kind of strip it down from there. I like the fact that this thing generates like whole tracks and whole pieces of music on its own. Like there's a bass in there and there's like synths and other stuff and percussion. But sometimes you actually need a bit more control than to just push a button and let things run on their own. So I'm looking for something which I can control. Cool. So this is obviously a kind of mixer. See, now that's useful. There's a sound there. But the problem is it's the wrong time signature. I want it to be more like that. Cool. So what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and kind of sample that. I've got a system here, which I'll show you now. The system is for... Why can't I scroll over? Okay. The system is for sampling and resampling and stuff like that. So here. No, that feels weird on that side. And I can't scroll any further that way. Okay, whatever. So first I make a note here. Which number is it? It's number 14. It's New School 14. And now this should be automatically picking up whatever's playing. Cool, so I'm going to solo this. That's what I want, yeah. Okay. Volume up. This is a good quality of sound, so let's go for it. Kind of went out the window there. Alright, I want this previous version here. Now, cool. First I've got to shut up that guy. Now I've got this on its own. And I'm going to start to see how it feels when played along with the bass. So the rhythm is synchronized, which is nice. Nice. Okay, so I'm gonna abort this direction, and the reason is because I think it just sounds a bit too hokey, if that's the right word. Doesn't inspire any joy in me whatsoever. So let's just keep on playing around, man. There's a nice piano sound. Actually, the one that I've been getting off on lately is this guy. It's kind of bowed. It sounds like they've bowed the strings of a piano. So let's try and get some ambient sounds coming out of this. I'm going to completely abort that bass. It doesn't work for me at all. But let's replace it with something else. So like... So you can hear this is actually a triplet. See, there's only a loose connection between the beat and if we were to follow the beat and play what exactly, let's play G minor. Let's play something here. Okay, that's a nice chord progression, of course. It does work out well. It's also going a bit more down tempo than I thought I might like. So what we need to do is... Ding, ding. Yeah, let's just try and imagine this. because this is the time signature that I'm hearing. Okay. Okay. That's not going to work. Okay. Just go with 4 chord structure. Let's see where this goes. Yeah, all right. See where it goes. I'm just going to record the 4 chords. 1, 2, 3, 4. The click is throwing me off. No, that must change. This here must change to. That's what I'm going for. Okay, so that's the core sort of groove that I'm going for. Let's see if we can lay down something. Here we go. That's inspiration, folks. Okay, I screwed that up because I had the incorrect loop length. I'm going to have to correct it now. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's actually a time signature of 6/4 at 121 BPM. So now that I'm familiar with that, we can get back on top. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2, do, 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 do. Okay, that's the progression there. If we're doing a 4/4 thing, do, 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 do. Okay, I'm down for doing the weird stuff as always. So here we're gonna go and really mess with things to do a 1, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a 5-bar progression in 6/4. There we go. First things first, let's take the marker back so that the count-in is right. That doesn't work. That means we can just take everything forward instead. Boom. Okay. Looping this section. Oops. Giving myself 2-bar count-in with a click and recording basically up the scale. Here we go. Let's go up a G minor scale. Do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little bit heavy on the automation there. On the velocity at least. Boom, top. Okay. Let's just correct that one really heavy note so we don't blow everyone away. Cool, let's check this out. Without the click. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, because it's okay if this is all basically very quantized to a quarter note, let's make it 1 actually. Everybody's in. Okay. You just need a bit of an attitude adjustment here. There we go. Thank you. Right. Now we've got this nice piano patch. It's actually not a piano. It sounds like a bowed instrument. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just double it to some of my other instruments and see how it sounds. Okay, cool. That's a good start. Now what I want to do is get an instrument called Live Cut. It's not an instrument. It's actually it's an effect. And this thing does. I'm so glad it works. Check it out. So glad it works. This thing does some interesting stuff. So here's the before of Live Cut. Just this organ sound. Okay, now we're going to turn Live Cut on. Yes, and that's intentional. What you're hearing now is like the clicks and the pops are the exact tone that I'm going for with this album this month. So let's put it back in the mix and we'll mess with the interface. Here we go. Cool, it's pretty nicely glitchy, which I dig. Okay, what's not so good is that's not sounding how I wanted it to. It's not supposed to be an A minor, actually. It's supposed to be an A minor diminished. So it's annoying my ears a bit. C and E flat should do it, yeah. Now we're getting a horrible... Let's not include the center note. Okay, now we've got clashes between the original and the copy. Cool. It's not very pleasing, like it's not very like crowd-friendly music. I'm going to turn the bit crusher on. Comb filter. Not very clear what the time signature is or anything either. And I'm going to at some point get Polyplex, which is a totally awesome drum machine on all of this stuff. But for now, let's just try and flesh out the bulk of the track without introducing the beats just yet. Okay. Okay, the diminished chord, I can tell you now, is going to cause problems. So I'm rolling back on my previous intention to do something really arty. And I'm going to just sit right back and do something which people actually listen to instead. So I've deleted the A dim, which means I go straight to the B flat here. Sounds much better to me. It sounds much easier. Now to C minor, a C major. Okay, so that's the first 4 chords of House of the Rising Sun in G minor instead of A minor. The Live Cut device is throwing the rhythm off that I'm trying to create. So I think it's going to work well, perhaps on a different instrument. Let's just hear this without. Let's do a standard producer trick. Yeah, and put that up there. There you go. Now we're in quartet territory for sure. That like that's awesome. I see where this is going. I'm definitely going to dumb it down, which means being less arty with this beat. Let's get it on a nice predictable rhythm. Okay, so that dun da is going to serve as our snare drum. Let's cut it out and stick it on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dun da. 2, 3, 4. 2, 1. Dun, dun, dun. But we still got this triplet rhythm going, so come on, play. Okay, so this might not work at all. What I'm going to do is shelve it. It doesn't work. It's not inspiring any joy in me. And that's a good thing to be able to do. Just literally cut your losses. So taking this clip here, and I'm going to move it to later on in the project. While we're at it, let's turn this tracks region off, and oh, wait a second. Yeah, so track 1 we must save as that, and now I'm going to save this version as track 3 to indicate that I'm working on this one here. Color is yellow. Cool. That means that when I come back into this, and I know what's cooking. Okay, so we can leave that to later. This new school thing's not really working for me. Let's go back to new school and see if we can generate some, maybe spend a bit more time trying to generate some, well, that's nice on its own, eh? It is nice. Don't need to mess with that too much. What we need now is a vocal sample that goes well with that. Let's try and find one. That's a big claps, man. I like that too. Cool, let's just get a clap in there for now. We'll I mean, that's just lovely. That's just lovely. You know, these are the types of sounds I'm after for this type of album. Different clap sounds. Very cool. Okay. I just had an idea. So what's good for this type of stuff is, let's get a new contact instrument in here. I'm going to have to use number 5. Don't want all that. And we're going to grab West African percussion from this other screen that you can't see. And let's get just single percussion instrument. This is where I usually start out. Let's go for a percussion ensemble there. I don't know what half this stuff is as usual. Let's figure it out. So I'm having a direction for this track. Din, 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 din. So like triplets. Din, 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 din. Yeah, I mean, every month it's a different thing. I kind of come up with ideas on the fly like I'm doing now and then just play them out. Okay. This I have a shortcut, WAF, which is West African. Now the problem with these samples is that they're also kind of generic sounding. And if you hear that, you just know immediately that it's Contact Instruments West Africa. But they are really well recorded, so you've got to find a trade-off between doing something that's been done. That's an interesting sound. Let's take them all down a little bit in volume though. You don't have to be pinned, my friend. Okay, hand claps. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put them all on the same track too, so we don't have to do things 4 times. Most of the time these samples end up being part of consolidated loops anyway. So. Okay, let's reverse this item as new take. I really should have a shortcut for that. I use it quite a lot. And now I'm going to go zhack, like that. 2, 1, okay. 2, where's the click? I've lost the beats already. too quick though. Dun, da, 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 da. Cool. Editing on the fly. Okay, let's see how that sounds. See, it's lovely. There's a charm to music that kind of gets created with this amount of like emotional labor, I guess. There's a charm to it because you can sort of sense that it hasn't just been like, I don't know, to me it's like, you know, you put your heart into something that comes through. All right, we were on West Africa. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where is West African instrument? Dun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 6. 6. I think individual hits are going to be better than loops here. Okay, to me that sounds fine for a sort of intro loop. Is there a way to copy and paste stuff without... can't. I like this. Let's just group it. Yeah, just go for it. Go for it, man. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're looking for a 6/8 rhythm, or a very slow 6/8 rhythm. Here it's 6/4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's dial back on the African stuff for now, forget the African angle, and just literally... also bring down the Glockenspiel a bit. Work out a part that sounds a little bit composed. So that chord there should be okay. Yeah, let's do it like that. Okay, so the one thing I've learned about composing is you move from a point of playing continuously to playing very occasionally and deliberately. It's the same thing with when you're jamming with other live musicians. Hey Corey, how's it going? Nice to see you, dude. When you're jamming with live musicians, you can tell it's an amateur jam because everyone is playing all at the same time and everyone's on their own vibe. Whereas with like really sophisticated music, you'll see there's a lot of communication on stage, eye contact or whatever, and the musicians are taking turns. So there's trust. You play a bit now, but you're also not just going to play all night. It's not that type of show. You give it back to me. And it's the same with the instruments in a composition. You've got to give each one a chance to have a moment. And those moments that lock together, the ones when they lock together, that makes for a good composition. Okay, so what I'm going to try and do here is resist the urge to play continuously the whole time. And I'm going to look for little moments and gaps in the rhythm to just punctuate with this, as if this is a rhythm instrument. Here we go. So there's that clap sound. That's like, it's like you're going over a hill. Let's try and structure the guitar composition around that. So I'm going to do fade in and fade out, like that around the clap. Yeah, cool, man. Hey, Corey, how's it going? Are you doing any live streams this weekend, bro? Cool. There we go. I'm just recording. Looks like I'm recording the wrong thing. Let's get the guitar acoustic. So you're probably going to hear my voice getting doubled now because I'm coming through two mics. I think I've lost a little bit of the tuning on here. Okay, well, visually it looks good, so let's try this again. Cool, you're streaming later tonight. I know. You tweaked your wrist, so you're like trying to get into that. But ukuleles are so like tricky to play, you know. I can't seem to hold the damn thing. Like I can't actually hold it without spazzing out or using the palm of my hand to like lock it. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you're supposed to do it. But coming from a guitar background where you put the thing on your knee or you've got a strap, you know, the ukulele is like pain. Cool, so I'm just going to shorten this to a 4-bar loop so that I can record takes, which are synchronized up. Here we go, let's try it again. 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. Yeah, it's funny, like if you told someone you got hurt by a ukulele, I think they might look at you like you needed an early COVID vaccine. But it's true, those things can mess with your posture and stuff. Cool, so here's the idea. 3, 4, 5, 6. Switch soft, take the volume up. wait, last part. Okay, I think I just messed up the timing slightly here. Yeah, which really messes with the chi. Okay, I don't know about that middle chord. Let's just maybe try punch in here. I'm just going to do a few takes of this. So I don't know where I am now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, still don't know where I am. Let's just do a punch in, no loop. I can just play it a bit better. Punch in the chord, go. Speed that up again. Okay, let's just try that. I think that could work as a loop. Let's go. Okay, I have a feeling we need to bring some more heat towards the end of this loop. So. Let's do variations on it, that's not a bad idea. Here's an idea too. Let's crop that, stick it here, and reverse items as new take. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So what we need, what I'm looking for here, what I'm hunting, mental hunting, is this chord in reverse. Okay, there it is, and stick it over here. Reverse items as need take, and what we've got now, what we should have, and what I should actually do, is just mark off the end of this section, because I'm really actually having trouble knowing where I am. Okay, there you go. Now we've got markers in place. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is theoretically, this is the finished loop. Here we go. That's it. Good. Done. That means I'm happy with that section. Group it and loop it. Next thing you know, boom. Got a carefully considered sort of track vibe. Okay. Alright, 6:15. Maybe it's time to chill out a bit. I've been streaming for 2 hours. Got a ways to go. But we're on track, it's good. bass isn't really what I'm after. It's got that Rickenbacker sound. How's this though? What did I use this for in the other song? What was it? Was it a layer? Yeah, it is a bass, yeah. So this is actually my FM8 bass. And this is bass, no, not record, don't record. Bass Rickenbacker. Bass Rickenbacker. Okay, bass FM8 and bass Rickenbacker. I don't think I'm going to use the Rickenbacker much in this whole album. Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, Corey, so I want to just share with you, this is my release notes for this month. Okay, so I start, because I want the albums that I make every month, these like royalty-free albums, I want the feel to be consistent. It's got to sound like one piece of music. So I write down all the stuff that I want to include and the instrumentation, influences and stuff. So this month, Glockenspiel, Mbira, which is this nice thing over here. Something like a kalimba, but it's a Shona Mbira, which means it's predominantly from Zimbabwe. The little hole over here is for your pinky finger, and then you kind of play it like this. That's about all I know about it. I've got an oyster mic, a piezo pickup on the back. Let's put that guy there for now. Yeah, and followed up by what I've got here is guitar samples, and that's what I meant by this, was like using reversed sounds and not your typical just strummed guitar or whatever. I want this to sound like left field electronica with a slight African influence. Other ideas: reversed samples, glitch sounds, wet sounds, quote unquote wet sounds, and accidents. So like in between stuff, guitar slides, you know, where you bump your elbow accidentally and you use that as a sample, use it as a kick drum or whatever. And then influences: Matthew Herbert. I don't know if you know Herbert, pioneer of electronic music. There's a French producer called Julien Mayer, who I really am into, and Felix Laband, who's the sort of South African electronica success story. His music gets like used everywhere. So I don't know if you want to check out any of those guys. That's the direction that I'm headed this month. And tell me about how things are going with you, man. Like, how's your streams going, and how long have you been doing it? And you know, like, I've seen a little bit about your gear and all that, but like, are you reaching the goals that you intended to reach? Let me do you a favor and just write them down here. So the first guy was Herbert. Herbert's pretty big. You can find him on YouTube Music or whatever. And then there's Julien Mayer, who's got this very kind of very glitchy type of electronica type stuff. That I've been listening to him since he was like an amateur producer, and he's come like so far, which is cool. And then you've got to listen to Felix Laband, because there's really nothing else like him. I struggle to find work like Felix Laband, and he's been producing since the early 2000s, the early 1990s, I think. So look up some of his stuff. It's not the easiest to find. I know that like it gets pulled off YouTube all the time. I think their record label guys know the value of it, so you might, check out Felix Laband. He's the South African guy. Start with him. I can recommend like his stuff for like, I don't know, just it's chill out. You know, it's chill out and it's carefully crafted, and I love it. Yeah, sweet, you got them. I can close that now. Yeah, those are the influences for this month. And while you're here, I mean, I'm kind of done for the day, but I'd like to just share the stuff that I've done with you so far. All of these regions here are tracks that I'm working on. I've got to get like 8 done, so that's like in the next 2 weeks. Here's the first one. The levels might be a bit off because I'm still mixing, but stuff like this. I turn it up. That's most of it. It's kind of like a loop. So I created most of the sounds for that track when I was sitting on the floor in what I call a sample and hold session. So I take the Mbira, plug it into my DDR delay pedal, and then that goes into my Ableton setup, and then I start screwing around with it. So it's like a laptop and a sound card and an Mbira and a few other toys, and then I screw with the delay, so that like when you hit the rate, while it's in the middle of playing something back, it makes that weird like delay sound. So I farmed some of those samples using that. Here's another piece that I'm working on. Yeah, it's also just a little bit of glitch for now. Nothing really special going on there yet. It's just a... Nope, I'm not going to be using that. I might actually just lay down a bass. No, sorry, let me not get sidetracked. I'm actually going to delete that from this project just to stay focused. Number 3. Oh, sorry. There's the reversed guitar sound again. Let's take it down in volume. It's very mellow type stuff. It's a vocal sample. It sounds like African woman. Yeah, this type of stuff. Yeah, so you can see there are loops with rough arrangements for the track. And what I'm going to do now, my standard operating procedure, is to finish the structuring of the track. So finish the beginning, middle, and end, and then I start doing more serious layering. Ending, in this case, I think I'm liking the fact that there isn't really a heavy beat on any of this. It's always a temptation to just or something. But firstly, like, if it doesn't suit the vibe of the music, then don't do it just because it's something that's done commonly and something that is guaranteed to stimulate the listener more, because this isn't just about stimulating someone. This is about maybe drawing them in, making them listen a bit closer and sort of going being a bit of an undercurrent to all the stuff that gets like shoved down your throat every day. So that's kind of the philosophy behind this particular album. Another album might be completely different, but I'm enjoying the space and the quiet of this a bit too much. So I'm going to stick with that vibe, I think. But at the same time, I will bring in some more rhythmic elements, you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. But not actually just like forcing the issue. There are two things that are important to me as a composer. And the one is being somewhat distinctive, so not just you have to do your sound alike jobs, which are really just someone gives you a reference track, is what I did 2 weeks ago. Gives you a reference track and you basically copy it, and that's fine because that's what you do as a technician. But when it comes to making your own work and finding people who care about like the emotional labor that's gone into something, then you kind of have to go sometimes a little bit, you'd have to go the extra mile a little bit. I mean, I could easily pump out 10 tracks just by finding the right patches and, holding down a key and allowing the software to generate music, or using scripting or something. That's something I want to get into. I don't think it's like necessarily the wrong way to go, but I just think when you rely on it too heavily, the music that comes out the other side of the pipe just sounds far too generic, and that's not what I'm here to do. So a combination is best. You use the power of the software, but also use the kind of creativity that only humans can bring to the table, That's the philosophy behind this stuff, at least. What I've got to do more about with this track, though, is reuse samples. I've got all of these things happening here. I'm just going to copy a few in and see how it goes. Also roll off a bit of those high clap sounds. Yeah. Let's take the highs down there. You can hear someone breathing in the background. I don't know which sample that comes from. Cool. Okay, now let's hear what does this sound like. And that's not what I want. What I want is this. Okay, so it's poorly labeled. I need to, just actually not call that Muse 46 anymore. This can be Beta samples, Kabita. Beta. Streams have been going well. I stumbled into a few dedicated support to viewers that show up. As a result, I got more comfortable when I started. That's super, man. That's great to hear. It's a pleasure watching you do what you do when I do get a chance. And I encourage you to keep going and just keep on doing something with a bit of heart, and you'll find people will be drawn to you, because ultimately that's what's in demand. People want to see someone try, and they want to be inspired by someone's efforts and reminded a lot of the time, I don't know how old you are, but you and I lose sight sometimes of how many people are not under the age of 40. You got a raid. Oh yeah, that's cool. That's where other people come check your channel. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there just like sitting around bored and lonely, and those are the people you got to kind of also just spare a thought for. So now I'm going to cheat. Check this out. I've literally copy-pasted this whole section from a previous track. And it kind of works. Here's the solo. Here's what it sounds like on its own. But it went in the mix. You can't really hear it. It works quite well because I happen to know that sample is a G and a D combo, and this is in G minor. So let's just leave it in there. It'll serve to glue the album together. Like the different tracks will start to sound more similar, which is what I want. Now it's just repeating itself, so let's just use it once. There you are. Four, five, six, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6. There we go. Good. There's our loop. So now I take that section there, I glue it all together, I create a bounce of it, and I stretch it out, and now we've got another layer to our track. There we go. What is your software of choice? You sound like someone who knows their way around, workstations. I've seen you play live, but do you do kind of production too? It sucks that you can't talk back, because you got to type. It's so unfair. Oh, you don't do any software. All right. Well, maybe I don't know where you're at really. I don't really know you that well, but you are a cool guy, and I don't know. Maybe look into like the sort of the Ableton side of things. You'll be amazed, I think, if you've got a handle on live looping and you dig live looping, you can get a lot of mileage out of using the software in combination with your hardware. But they also have the analog and digital difference. So like when you run a loop using a Boss pedal or whatever, you always gonna be slightly out of time. And with the software, that becomes a problem if you try to sync the two. And there's like forums dedicated to groups of people who try to solve this problem. There are MIDI foot controllers. There's this Keith McMillan soft step thing, which allows you to basically control the computer as if the computer is a foot pedal. And I think it's one workaround, but they all just seem like workarounds. The live looping camp seems to be like quite firmly separated into like people who do it just analog, or just at least organically, I guess, and then people who use the software to keep it on a grid, to click it. I've tried to do both in my time, and it just caused me a lot of pain. So I don't do a lot of live looping nowadays. There's a video of me somewhere online doing a cool guitar, like a gypsy jazz live loop thing. Okay, the other thing I like is this airplane sound. Let's reuse that. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. Now this is starting to sound like weird and unique music. It's got a door function. Oh, right. Yeah, I know what you mean about the creativity thing. Yeah. You tend to rely too heavily on the loops. And things get very old very quickly. Like if you're doing like a 4-bar loop. If you do a 4-bar loop on a guitar, there are enough differences to make it interesting over like a period of whatever, 64 bars. But with, like, for example, backing beats, then you're going to feel like very quickly that it's going to start to feel stale, because your brain can hear that it's, you know, the exact same short file. So the general rule with looping that I've found is that the more repetitive, basically the quicker the tempo, the shorter you are allowed to spend within that section of the song. So if you're coming up with something that's like repeating quite often, then you have to move on from that A section to a B section where that repeating doesn't happen like much quicker. But if you've got like a really slow loop, then you can stay in the A section, you know, for the entire song before it starts to wear out. Anyway, I think you get all that stuff. Yeah, but don't give up, eh? I mean, Ableton took me literally a year to get my head around. Like, the barrier to entry for Ableton is pretty high, I must say. And you don't want to be like sitting on a mouse all day. But on the other hand, if you know the basics, like if you watch a few tutorials and you get the basics right, and then you just think of the computer as some external instrument that just has a very good way of making a bunch of different sounds, but you don't spend all your time engaging with it, because it'll suck you in, dude. You know how it works. Just like get the basics and then let it run and try and like not get sucked into it, and then you'll find you'll get the most out of it. If you want to go that route. I mean, I can't believe I'm recommending somebody spend more time looking at a screen, you know. Spend more time on it when I'm not trying to get an idea out. Yeah, I got you, man. Yeah. I mean, get away from the screen if you can. We actually organized the jam on Wednesday night. I used to do this stuff all the time, but a buddy of mine organized the jam here in Cape Town at a local bar, and it was just so cool, man. Turns out, like, yeah, about 8 musicians rocked up. I think everybody's really, like, you know, feeling the need to get out and play and stuff. Cool. That high clap is still a little bit too piercing for me. Yeah, let's just get it back in the background there. You can hear breathing in this track. Yeah, don't you miss it? Yeah. This is really sad. It's more like a sound texture than a... Okay, at this point we let the song breathe a little bit. This is my sort of formulaic approach towards it. Drop out that stuff. And now I'm going to get an instrument called a live cut. I mentioned it earlier in the stream. It's a very nifty little device which allows you to screw with samples and basically turn them inside out. So here I'm going to solo the guitar. I've placed live cut on the guitar. Listen to the effect it has. There, it cuts it off and messes with it. I like that. Now maybe I should set this up as a sort of send, so that we still got the original one. Let's cut it up even finer. How's the pitch? Let's mess with the pitch. Speed. There we go. Warp cut. Let's just mess with some of these. I don't know what they do. And that looks like warp cut has messed. Area. Subdivisions, seed, square pusher. Okay, so you've got different types of. Okay. I've lost all functionality on live cut by the looks of it. How annoying. Take it to warp cut. Anything happening? No. Sometimes this happens. You change a setting and you don't actually know what you've done wrong, but it's just not working anymore. Anyway, this really is like fine-tuning, and I really should get back to the basics. I find it's easy to like mess around with this tiny little finicky stuff before you finish the general arrangement of a track. Cool. Okay. Good. Now I'm going to head over and try and find some more of these singing samples. Bona. Oh, it looks like we might get some rain. Awesome. Percussion. It's totally random, huh? Deep house drums. I mean, honestly, how many drums and samples do you need? Okay, I know what to do. We have to go back to the previous project and find it in here. There it is. But no, damn it, I consolidated it already. Meaning that I can't actually just whip it out. What was it called? Eona something. That's the one, yeah. Let's get that one. Where are we? We are here, the yellow one. Cool. I'm going to get this into chant. Eona. Volume, oops. Ah, beautiful. And it's in the same key. We can... Ta 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 ta. Oof, that is loud. Sorry about that if you're listening. Did not mean for it to come out so loud. Where is this one? That's the culprit now. Okay. This could also come down by like whatever, 10 dB. Now we need to just find the right part of the sample. So here we go. That's not it. Maybe here. Needs to be a tonal moment, so where they're actually singing, you know. Okay, that's good. Let's just kill the mbira here too. So we've come out of this section. Now we could actually change track here. I want to change from the bass. Let's start with the piano, which is actually more like a bowed instrument. So we've gone from G to B flat to C major to F to E flat. No, we don't want to do that. We want to keep it in this kind of mode. So B flat minor. Yeah, that's it. That'll work fine. So we go from the E flat. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Let's do it. 1, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4. This is E flat minor. 4, 5, 6. B flat minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Da, da. Let's fix that up. Okay. Okay, how about we get a bass in there and see how it sounds. Yeah, for these kind of long bowed piano parts, I prefer to just quantize everything 100% because you don't really get any points for nuance, especially not like rhythmic nuance. You want the whole thing to just kind of obey. It's a pad, you know. You can't do quick things in a pad. So, all right. Now we're on to bass FMR, and we're gonna start with that nice leading note. Cool. Hello, Cas9999. Cas99. Were you born in 1999? Is that why you got your name? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, totally lost count there. Couldn't hear what was going on because the click was off. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 3. Hey, you guys know each other. That's cute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom. We're out. One thing I want to change is I want this B flat to go down instead of up, so we get that nice warm low sound. Then I want to quantize everything so that it obeys me like a good machine, like all good machines should. Although one of these days they probably won't anymore. What is going on here and why am I failing? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You only have a black screen. What does that mean? Do you not see my beautiful face? 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's sync problems. That's my issue here. There's a synchronization to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You should be able to see. You should be able to see me. If it's even important, I mean, does it matter? 5, 6. Just get lost in the music, man. Get lost in the music while I make the music. Anyway, welcome and thanks for stopping by. It's nice to meet you, Cas99. I was just chatting to Corey here about live looping and stuff like that. It'd be good to hear your story. What is it that brings you here on this fine Friday evening in South African time? What is your vibe? Cool. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. There we go. I see a problem coming up. Can I fix it? Yes, I can. I am amazing. 3, 4, 5. Loop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put that not at the beginning. Let's put it there. No, it doesn't fit there because it's a G over a B flat minor, so it's going to be like a. They just do a little off the cuff thing here and try and edit this by stretching it double time. Let's see how that sounds. Here we go. Same sample, half the time. I like the idea, but it doesn't sound good, so. Yeah, let's stretch it out 4 bars. It's also a little bit flat for my liking. I'm going to just take the pitch up by 0.3 semitones. It's this. That's what I'm after. Yeah, it's got a nice strained quality to it. It's still a bit flat though, which I don't mind too much, but if we can fix it and make it sound. There we go. There we go, nice pad sound. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello. Hello. Welcome, Cast99. What I'm doing now, in case you're interested, is chatting to my online friends, like you guys, who, if you were in my city, I'm sure you'd be my real friends. And also making kind of this left field electronica, I suppose you could call it, pad sounds, stretching samples, reversing samples, recording samples, just making things work basically. Just for fun and because I feel like, you know, just putting on a bit of a show. I'm going to screw around with this mbira instrument a little bit. The Shona mbira, as I was showing Corey earlier, is an awesome... It makes these kinds of sounds, and I'm just going to see if any of them fit, but because I want to make this interesting, first thing I'm going to do is add a mic and then run a delay, run it through a delay, so we can... 1, 2, you should be hearing my voice double now, but anyway, that's fine. I'm going to run it through a delay pedal, or a delay, should I say, so that it sounds like all glitchy and maybe a bit fun. Let's get this. I think Tal Dub Delay was a good one. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. Let's get into the trippy zone, man. Put this keyboard away and see this kind of sound. There's another group. Actually, I can I not add? Yeah, I can add stuff here. There's a group called Pemba. If you like what I'm doing, then like with this mbira sound, then look up Pemba. They're part of this British collective called On the Corner Records, which do very the mbira and like griot music. Griot music is like, griots are the praise singers. Okay, wait, hang on. This is getting a bit much. Griots are the praise singers of a lot of African cultures. So whenever there's a person in a position of authority, there's a praise singer to accompany them at ceremonial events, and who introduces them and basically big ups them, you know. And they've taken these chants and these kinds of sounds and they've remixed them and they've added, you know, even though they're like a London-based ensemble, they've added all of these like incredible world sounds. So I recommend Pemba, the On the Corner Records crew. I love their stuff. I follow everything they do. And one of the things they do is they use this particular instrument, which is an mbira, and I'm having just a little bit of trouble taming it. Just give me a sec. I'm going to just loosen the mic. Okay, so let's just give this a bit of a record and see how it comes out. I'll stop talking for a while. Here we go. First things first, I'm going to sample whatever I record. So now, hitting record, and literally just screwing around. Okay. So we've got a bunch of stuff. Let's listen to it. Yeah, Cast99. Cast99, let's hear your side of the story. I think I can turn that off. Good. Now that I've got that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just an interesting section. So what I'm doing is looking for mistakes, actually. Looking for stuff that's like idiosyncratic. There, so I'm just going to use this little sample here, which is, it sounds a bit amateurly recorded, which I like. Cool. Now we'll take that and we'll set a region and then create a bounce of it. So Reaper literally just includes the delay sound. You can see in the picture, so it's got all that delay stuff. So now I've got this which is hardwired. I mean, it's hard-coded, which means that when I reverse it, it's going to sound like this. Cool. There you go. So there's a very interesting sound we could use as some kind of build-up. You make beats and songs as well. That is too epic. What software do you use? Or what type of stuff really makes you happy? Tell me your musical story. Always love hearing what other people are up to. Sends you mystery files. Right on, man. Mystery files. Here's our new part in the song. Okay, problem, it's already too busy in that section of the song. Let's take it over to the break and see what we can do here. Okay, cool. You guys are homeboys then, huh? I think everybody's homeboys these days because no one's leaving the house. You came here for dad jokes. Okay. Very interesting. So isn't that a cool transition? So I got a small thing here that's going on. I'm going from an E flat to an E flat as if it's a chord change, and that is a little disruptive, you know, to the ear when we want the next thing to be different. So to smooth over or to like create variation within that transition, I've got this this new sample I've just recorded. So here's the end of the A section going into the B section. I know this is all theory or whatever, but whatever. Yeah. Yeah. And we'll come up with the next phase of it here, yeah. Maybe we could put another one of these in here. Yeah, cool. What the hell just happened? It sounded like you returned to Mordor. I like this thing. That's what I'm calling the airplane sound, the jet sound. Loopers, percussion, synth DJ equipment, and octopad. Cool, man. Yeah, we had one of those. It's sitting gathering dust somewhere. But they can be a lot of fun and super useful if you want to play like rock music in a small bar. You just like load up a rock patch and then you've got basically this full kit and it's right in front of you. Only problem is, you know, you can't really use your feet unless you get like an external MIDI kick pedal. But anyway, yeah, cool, man. Synth DJ equipment. Yeah, well, I'd dig to hear what your toys are. You know, what kind of synth it is, and what looper pedal you use, and that kind of thing. Tell me your story, man. Gotta say, man, this is a great way to work. Having people to talk to while you do your thing. Like, I'm not on like a serious budget. I mean, a serious deadline or anything. So I appreciate you guys rocking out. Thanks. You have pedals and snare. Oh, you do have the actual pedals, the foot pedals and the kick stuff for the octopad. That's cool. Korg wave state. All right, sweet. I want to actually duplicate this section here. I feel like modulating up a third here to like do do da 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 za is it a third? No, it's a second. It's up a tone. So it's wah, wah, no, from here. Cool. Let's do that as a little bit of an ender, maybe. So 2 of the E flat to B flats. I'm going to change it here. 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. So there's the loop. Change to punch in record mode. And then take it up to an G flat to D flat. Here we go. Click on. Here we go. 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I could, I mean, I could carry on forever doing this, just putting fancy stuff and doing fancy things. It's just a pity I've got to do like 8 tracks in 8 days. So I got to get on with it. But that sounded good. Let's do the bass. 1, 5, 6. I missed the cue. 2, 3, 4, 6, 1, 2. Let's go up an octave or 2. Yeah, 4, 6, 4, 5. Just to create a break in there. A moment of like levity down to B. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it feels like we should start repeating there, even though this is a 3-bar loop. So it breaks the format. So I'm going to start repeating there with the exact same. Actually, let me do my. Let's do the things the sensible way. And oh, I see why it's doing this now. Sorry, I had some issues earlier with the way it was quantizing, but because it's in 6/4, because this piece isn't in 4/4, the quantizing is getting thrown off. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. Things are moving and on track. What do you mean that this sounds like something bad just finished happening? Oh, you're talking about the soundtrack. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Actually, this is a moment like the aftermath. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down. And then we'll just end it on a nice single sort of. It's going to be up on the F sharp, so. Okay, change the record mode and record. Not working because why? Here we go. Stick it right there. I almost got this thing of it ending like just like a phone tone. Making foundation. I like marking foundation for musicians such as Corey Clark to jam and improvise to. I like to strictly collaborate if possible. That's an interesting idea. Like, I only work on music if I'm collaborating. That's valuable, man. I think you should push that. And what if anything can I do for you? You know, if you've got parts and things that you think could fit into the picture, then yeah, throw them at me. Or you can always ask. I do play violin. That's my kind of unique thing. If you're looking for violin parts or samples. In fact, let me just find a. It's a bit corny, but there was a SoundCloud. There was a thing on SoundCloud that was my Gypsy Jazz violin pack from like 10 years ago. Making foundations. This is it, yeah, all this stuff. Whoa. This is what we're listening to now. Okay, whatever. This is a thing that I did years ago. Slide bass trap loops. I don't know where I got that idea, but yeah. You can download these if you want. That's funny. Yeah, this is one of the channels that I put out music on. And I think there's violent stuff like at the base of it all. Let's just check out if that thing's still there. Whatever it is, I've come a long way. Yeah, violent blues, blues, loops and licks, that's right. Yeah, you can just hear how bad it is. Well, I mean, the recording's bad. You can just download these, I think. Yeah, you can download them. Anyway, just throwing that at you. I don't know if you're interested in that or not, but and then I do tons of royalty-free music at johnbartman.com. Oh, you don't hear it. Okay. It'll be here at the very bottom of this feed, but most of my stuff is on. I hate doing this, but seeing as it is relevant to the conversation, that's where I post the stuff that I'm working on now, and also on Free Music Archive. I don't know like what your vibe is, but yeah, I'm down to collaborate. Yeah. This is cool. So it's got that, and then this B section. Gentle. Okay. Cool. I think that's it, fellas. I'm going to call it quits for now. I believe I've done more than my fair share of composition today. Yeah, you can send them, I guess, to... Well, yeah, what's the best way to connect when I'm not live? Have you got... Does Twitch have like a message service, or do you want to send it to an email or what? But yeah, stay in touch, dudes, and I mean, let me just actually subscribe to you right now, Cas99. No. I like how they put like reply right next to add to block list. Let's see, twitch.tv, and we want to get to Cas99. Yeah, you are watching me. Subscribe to you. How do you feel about that? How does it make you feel? Follow. Yes, I will be notified. If you do any videos, then yeah, I'm looking forward to them, man. Vibe is finding a way to vibe with whoever wants to vibe. Well, on that note, I'm going to make my merry way to a different vibe. Whispers, is that like the Twitch messaging service? Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I'll just, yeah, see you. There's always a million ways to get in touch with each other. But I'll see you online. You know, I'm going to do these streams more often, especially if you guys rock up, and it makes it even more like easy to do it frequently. And I'm finding that I'm doing work, you know, it's slow, but I'm doing the work, and it's kind of fun too. Cool, fellas. It's been really fun, and I've got to go. I smell my wife cooking food, and it's damn delicious, so that's my motivation right now. And thank you so much for popping by. It really does make a hell of a difference, as you know. Cool. Peace out, dudes. Nice hanging.